The most important thing that a soldier can take from this class is the warrior's ethos. The defining characteristic of a warrior is the willingness to close the distance with the enemy.
You know, we do our close quarters combat, we do our marksmanship, we do our CLS and medical training. But really, there's always a need for hand-to-hand combat in the simple fact that weapons malfunction. You go into a room not really necessarily knowing what's in there. Someone grabs your weapon, someone grabs your buddy's weapon. Like I said, you have a malfunction, you're the first guy in the room, it's you and me, and it's basically not necessarily maybe a fight to death, but worst case scenario, a fight to the death, and you don't have your weapon.
Some of the other things I'd like to bring back is just the discipline that this you can gain from this, and also just the physical strenuousness of doing combatives.
Everything that we have here is combat orientated. It's not something that you would see that in, like, say, the UFC or any mixed martial arts out there in the civilian sector. There are definitely techniques that we use that are similar, but when we went to the Gracies back in the mid-90s and the Army wanted a different, combative structure, that was one of the things they orientated, it not being necessarily something that was something that you would see on the civilian side, but something that was more fitted for a combat environment.
One of the main things that I really want to bring back is the ability to use this in the war. They're war fighters, and they need to understand. Sometimes it can come hand to hand. Confrontational, face to face, subduing opponents. Attacker may be coming up on them, and they need to properly know how to use their hands as they're raiding a house. As you can see, as how soaking wet I am, it's very, very physical, so I'm definitely having a good time and learning a lot.
It pushes the cohesion in the units, esprit de corps. It also helps the soldiers with their confidence. A lot of soldiers sometimes might not, always have the most confidence.
Make it.